All right. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing this evening? Uh, how's everyone doing? All right. Good evening, guys. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome to this. Is probably going to be one of the most important weekly overviews of this year. We got about like two more months, 2.5 months until we close out 2025, and so far we're on a pretty good note. Right now, and we're not. I'm not gonna get to the jits and jatters. So let's get right into it. All right, if you guys already know, like on Friday, Trump announced a potential 100% tariff threat on first of all, let me just get the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. All investing and trading involves risks. I typically hold positions for around weeks, months, or even years, and please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay? All right, so if you survived Friday, pat yourselves on the back, because a lot of people got cooked on Friday. Over $19 billion were liquidated in the worst crypto crash since COVID. And a lot of people lost their entire life savings on Friday. If you looked online, you can see catastrophic losses, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Personally, I lost around $7,000, on Friday, mostly from my longs. However, I did not have any leverage positions, so I saved myself from that trouble. I did have a Tesla call that I got pretty cooked on, and I'm still holding on to that for my dear life. But yeah, so a lot of people got cooked on Friday. But what does that mean? How can we avoid catastrophic losses like these? As you can see, this is a post I got from Wall Street Bets showing around $159,000 of loss on Friday. $159,000. It's not a small loss. It's not a small loss. So we're going to be talking about risk management today. I think it's very important to avoid catastrophic losses like these, especially when momentum turns against you. Okay, I mean, especially when using leverage. Personally, I don't use leverage on any crypto. I do options here and there. Personally, leverage is a very risky game. You're like playing with fire, and momentum shifts against you. This could happen. Okay, and risk management is the key to avoiding catastrophic losses like these. Okay, so what are the keys to risk management? First of all, you never want to risk more than what you're willing to lose. Okay? Catastrophic losses can cause significant financial, emotional, and physical distress. You should always have a plan to have a stop loss and price target where you exit in. You should always have an exit plan in place if momentum shifts against you. Okay? You should always have a plan. So, for example, let me show you guys one of the trades I did this week. All right, show you guys. So let's see. I bought AMD. Let's take a look at AMD real quick. I had AMD around $160. I mean, no one could have saw it coming, but my price target was $180 for the long run. But the deal went in and it shot up to $222 on October 6th, and I sold it immediately. I sold it immediately at market open because I hit my price target. I mean, I went above and beyond. And what happened right after that? It dropped all the way back down to 200 because it was clearly overbought and it wanted to close the gap. Okay, so always have a price target in mind. Let me show you guys another trade I did. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Amazon. Amazon is something I had to hit my stop loss over. So I had bought a couple calls around the $223 range, and it was around October 6th where it plummeted down to $218, and I hit my stop loss. It did recover after that, but I just had to take the L. It is what it is. And it went up all the way back to 228 before the tariffs hits, and it crashed down to $210. Okay, so if a stop loss hits, you just gotta be willing to walk away. Be willing to walk away, and if you take the profits, you have to be willing to walk away as well. Okay. All right, so that's why stop losses are very important. You should always know where you will hit, where the price goes down to be willing to accept, hey, I'm wrong, because nobody's right 100% of the time. Nobody is right 100% of the time. Okay. So I just want to give a moment of silence to this Ukrainian crypto investor and influencer that unalived himself, decided to take his own life amid the market crash on Friday. Guys, nothing in life is especially when you're working with a bunch of digits on a screen, nothing in life is worth taking your own life over. Okay, so a moment of silence for this crypto influencer, Konstantin Galish. This is the consequence of being over leveraged. Okay, this is the consequence of being over leveraged. He was currently playing with $90 million of investors' funds, and he was over leveraged. Greed played a huge role in what happened here. And when momentum shifted against him, he lost $30,000 on Friday. And unfortunately, some people just could not bear the emotional stress and emotional trauma from suffering such catastrophic losses. They decide to, harm themselves. And I did see another report saying that 2,000 people harmed themselves on Friday amid the crash. I mean, had he waited maybe a couple hours later today, maybe he would still be alive, since Trump announced that the whole situation, the tariff situation in China is just a misunderstanding. He might still be alive right now, because right now, if I show you guys, the markets are actually recovering decently. I show you Bitcoin. It's actually recovering decently from $109, 109K. From today's low all the way back to 115. Okay, let's look at the futures right now. Futures had a huge gap. Look at this gap. Look at this gap. Huge gap up. He might still be alive today had he had he not decided to on the live cell, maybe wait a couple hours after that Trump announcements, because markets are so uncertain. You cannot predict anything. Anything could happen. I mean, he could tweet something tomorrow. It could go back all the way back down to 100K. Okay. All right. So this is another post I found on X that stated he lost $14 million after Trump announcing tariffs, causing crypto to crash. He lost all his money in supposedly a meme coin, SUI. This is why I'm so against meme coins and penny stocks. $15 million lost. This industry is a scam. Goodbye forever. Wow. This is why I am so against meme coins and penny stocks. And I believe, personally, you can take my word for a grain of salt, but personally, I think anything other than Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and Solana, any of the big names, blue chip with large market caps is a gamble. Because when momentum shifts against you, these sort of meme coins with very, very low, very, very low market cap and with no fundamentals behind them, they get cooked the most. SUI, let's take a look at SUI real quick. Let's take a look at SUI. Meme coins like these suffer the most catastrophic losses because there is no, fundamentals behind them. I mean, it could go up 50% the next day and then 50% down the next day. It's a lot more volatile than any blue chip cryptocurrencies. So personally, I don't hold any meme coins. The only crypto I hold are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and a little bit of XRP. Any meme coins I consider a gamble. Okay? I mean, if you do make some money, props to you. For me, I would just take it and run away. Okay? All right. So, let's take a look at the next slide. So, this is another slide I found on Reddit, which I kind of feel bad for. So, I lost all my savings, 6 years of dollar cost averaging, got instantly liquidated last night. I was one of the only people who tried to time the market, was telling others to stay away from leverage, just dollar cost average. Yet here I am. Maybe the sad story will contribute to the community. I guess people have different reasons for why they end up using leverage. I don't need to be convinced that Bitcoin is here to stay and will go up. That's why I was all in dollar cost averaging. Anything left out of my monthly salary would go into Bitcoin. However, in the last 1 to 2 years, my monthly expenses rose significantly, and I was upset I was not able to buy as much Bitcoin as I could in the past. This is what led me to the idea that I can make up for that period in 1 to 2 leverage trades, and it all went downhill from there. Last night, I lost everything. As of today, my total net worth is not far away from the salary I will receive this month. Everything I got was wiped out, and I am 36 years old already. Wow. Very, very tragic story. I don't know what to say. This is why I caution against using any sort of leverage, especially in volatile markets like cryptocurrencies. Personally, if the only leverage I use are options. Crypto itself is already extremely volatile, and then you're placing leverage on top of it. That's a very dangerous game. That's a very dangerous game. If you ask me, now they're even pumping. Now Hyperliquid is apparently pumping up the leverage to 50x. Like, let me show you guys this one. Let me show you guys this one news article I found. Supposedly, so people could quote unquote make the money back. Okay. Okay, here it is. It's from Coinbase. As if 20x is not enough, it's 50x. 50x is actually crazy. Like, take a look at this. Hold on. Okay, we just bumped up the max leverage from 20x. We just bumped up the max leverage from 20x to 50x on international perpetual futures. A bunch of traders asked for this update. Let us know what else we can add. As if 20x is not already enough. This is the kind of degenerate degenerate behavior that a lot of people on Wall Street bets. Unfortunately, a lot of these crypto exchanges are promoting. At this point, it's just pure gambling. Okay, because any leverage position, when momentum shifts against you, you're gonna suffer catastrophic losses. And for me, I only do spot on crypto. Crypto is already extremely volatile, so adding leverage onto that is just adding fire onto fire. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next slide. All right, so let me take a look. All right, so the realization of my age, how much time it took for me to get to the point where I was at before touching the leverage. Imagine all the things this money could fix today if I just spent it. All these feelings and thoughts are devastating beyond my ability to describe it. The feeling of shame, the feeling of letting down family and relatives. I won't ever admit to what has happened to anyone, and I will have to live with this feeling of shame likely forever. I have seen posts suggesting people are suicidal. I am not. But I very well understand why others may be going through this. For guys, if it comes to the point where you're doing any sort of investment and trading, where it comes to the point where you're suffering such catastrophic losses that you're thinking about suicide, hey, maybe you should have a stop loss in place, like we talked about earlier in this live stream. That's why stop loss are so crucial to prevent something like this from happening. Okay, especially when you're doing leverage or margins. I don't do margins or leverage. Or crypto leverage. That's because every trade I use, I'm using my own money. Every investment I do, I use the money I earn from my 9-to-5 job. I do have a 9-to-5 job in my businesses to allocate towards the investing income. You can't just be relying on borrowing money using margins. Like, personally, it's not for me. But if that's what you like to do, go ahead. Personally, I stay away from margins because you could suffer catastrophic losses like these. And unfortunately, this individual was just not ready for it. And I feel like after a couple years of maybe, this guy's 36, so he's definitely been in the game for a very long time, and he should probably already know this by now, that I already know the risk when it comes to leverage. Okay, so what's next for me? I'm trying to convince myself. For being 36, and unfortunately, 36 is not a good age to be taking these kind of risks. I mean, most of my audience are probably in their 20s, and we're here to take risks, but not catastrophic loss risks like these. And being 36 and having nothing but a car loan and a few furniture pieces, nothing to worry about. I still have a job, and hopefully a few years ahead, I will try to build my cash position and just wait for the cycle to start deploying cash into Bitcoin when price drops below 90 to 80k again. Honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, if at all. 90 to 80k Bitcoin. I don't know if, honestly, I don't think we're gonna see that. And again, maybe in the next 6 to 7 years, I will get back to the point where I was before I got wiped out, and of course tell myself I'll never touch leverage again. This is a nightmare situation. I'm coping hard, but what else can I do? I feel helpless. If you're new to Bitcoin, you think you are late. I was there when price was at $4,000 back in 2020, and was dollar cost averaging and all throughout. Today, I'm back to round zero savings at the age of 36 with intention to just get back to buying at whatever price I will get. You can roast me, but this can happen to you no matter how smart receiving you are. One day you may have a random valid reason. Just take a little risk. In the next moment, you know you are down to zero. Don't trade. Don't use leverage. Behind every lucky shot with gains posted, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of lives destroyed. I mean it. Good luck to everyone. I don't know what to say. This guy knew he was playing a dangerous game. I mean, he's been in the game for a long time. He's definitely not someone new. I mean, being 36 back in 2020, he's been in the game for a long time. So you know the dangers when it comes to leverage. You know the dangers when you're playing with fire, especially in cryptocurrencies. And something like this, like one single tweet on Friday, can wipe this guy's entire life savings out. And that just tells you how dangerous being over leveraged is. And how dangerous is it to not have a stop loss in place? Like 36. That's got to be a pretty a pretty turning point in life. I mean, you only got like what you're already halfway through your working career. This age is honestly not a good age to be taking a huge loss like this. Okay. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I should feel sorry for gamblers, but I hope he does recover. And I hope everyone else who suffered catastrophic losses and who else is suffering, any mental health issues or depression from Friday, just know that the digits on the screen are temporary. I mean, it could go back up tomorrow. I mean, it is already recovering. Bitcoin is already recovering. Literally, oh, okay. Bitcoin is I'm almost 116. If I show you guys right now, hold on. Bitcoin is already back at 116. Already back at 116. So my question is, did he sell or did he still? Hold on. Okay, he definitely got liquidated. Okay, he got liquidated. So unfortunately, there's no recovery from him. Had he did spots and not touch leverage, he may have recovered. He may have recovered half of his losses. Had he, I mean, I was down like 50% already from most of my positions, and most of my stocks. I was Nvidia. I was down like 10%. I bought my average price right now is 185, and it went all the way back down to 180. I lost a lot of money on Nvidia. My Bitcoin average price is around 110. My ETH is at 2,000. I got into ETH very early, so not worry about that. But unfortunately, if you're liquidated, there's nothing you can do when the market recovers. Like, you get liquidated, that's game over. That's game over. And some people are gonna, you can FOMO right now, and tomorrow there could be another crazy tweet, and it could go back down. You get liquidated again. So leverage is it's a very dangerous game. So yeah, unfortunately, this individual was not aware of the game he was playing. All right, cool. Let's take a look at the next slide. All right, so what's the week ahead again? So earlier today, Trump already back to his market manipulation tactics. Don't worry about China; it will all be fine. Highly respected President Xi, just a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The USA wants to help China, not hurt it. President Donald J. Trump, and that single tweet caused the crypto markets to recover almost $3 billion of losses. That $3 billion of losses. Just one tweet can, shift the entire momentum of the market. And in the crypto space, that it's amplified because of how volatile it is. Okay. All right. That's pretty much I have it today. I want to thank you guys for joining the live stream, and please make sure you guys stay safe out there, especially when trading and investing in such a volatile market like this. If you want to follow me on IG, I'll link the description below. I also have a free community you can join, and it will also be posting weekly updates on long-term trading investing strategies. I also post personal finance as well. If you had any questions, DM me on IG or shoot me an email. But before we head out today, I just want to have one of my guest speakers that I want to invite out onto the stream. This is actually my first time inviting a guest speaker out. So my guest speaker is gonna give a brief overview of what's ahead for the next week's market. Okay, so give me a couple minutes. Let me get onto the stream.
Hello, hello.
Yo,
What's up?
yo.
All right, all right. So, um, when Trump made the tweet, obviously, the market went to shit. Like it dropped like over 2%, I believe. But right now, we are looking at the E-mini S&P futures, which is one of the best indicators of what's going to happen tomorrow. Because the market's not open yet, but with the futures, you can basically it's correlated. So
It's extremely
this will
correlated.
basically, yeah. SPY will reflect this, and what it's showing is that between Friday night and Sunday, Trump made that tweet, right? That everything's fine with China, blah blah blah, and right now what we're seeing is that it's bouncing back a lot. So basically, it's probably going to go up even more. And my advice is to just buy the dip. Like if it goes up too much,
Buy the dip, guys.
Yeah, buy the dip. If it goes up too much, I'd be careful. But like if it stays around this level, let me see. This is about 660 on SPY. What's that?
660 on SPY.
Yeah, so if the futures market doesn't move, which I highly doubt it won't, but if it doesn't move like until tomorrow's market open, it's probably a good time to dip buy. Not financial advice.
Of course, not financial. Nothing is financial advice here. What do you think about using leverage in this time? What do you think about leverage or using any sort of leverage, like what we saw earlier? Like a lot of people suffer catastrophic losses from using leverage.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common, with Wall Street bets and especially crypto. Like everyone's like leveraged to the tits, like 50x, 100x. I know some exchanges give like 200x plus.
200x
It's
plus.
absolutely insane. Mexi, Bid5, just to name a few. Not promoting them.
Obviously. I know Hyperliquid's at 50x, right? 50x or 40x.
Yeah, even Coinbase is like offering leverage futures, right?
Coinbase, yeah. I don't use Coinbase, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, I think I saw it somewhere, but yeah. Basically, don't use leverage unless like what your like risk is. Always set a stop loss because
Always set a
leverage,
stop loss.
you can make a crap ton of money, but if you don't set your stop loss correctly, like it goes down like what half of a percent, and like you're cooked. You're liquidating.
Right.
You're cooked.
Right.
So yeah, for the leverage, if you know what you're doing, obviously keep doing it. But if you don't know what you're doing, you should probably be really careful. And obviously, with all the stuff discussed in the previous slides of the PowerPoint, don't kill yourself. Don't unalive yourself.
Right. Obviously, nothing in life is worth unaliving yourself over.
Yeah, just don't YOLO some stuff you're not willing to lose. Because as you see with Wall Street bets, every single win that you see, there's probably 10 people that lost their life savings.
Right. But yeah, anyways, guys, if you guys any questions, feel free to tap into the community. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's live stream. I hope everyone have a great rest of their night, and I will see you guys tomorrow around 9:30 a.m. All right, take care, guys. Good night.